friends, and welcome back to Random Hearts and welcome to the kitchen. Today we are going to be making my potato salad. Now this is loosely based on a version of my mother's potato salad. I do tweak it just a little bit, but there is not a recipe for it. And my children have asked for the recipe on this a couple of times, and I am putting this video out there so that they will know how to make the potato salad. They can tweak it to their liking as well. There is always something you can change in a recipe. Just keep in mind that it's a guide. Now today we are going to be boiling some potatoes, and I am going to show you how I boil to remove the skins, and hopefully everything works with that. Sometimes it doesn't always, but today, because we're going to be on camera, we'll see. But we'll also be going out to the garden to get some fresh herbs and a few things that I don't typically put into my potato salad, but because I have them on hand, I'm going to put them in today. I will try my best to give you measurements and ingredient totals as much as possible, but like I said, this is not quote-unquote a recipe. I do not make this the same way every single time, and there's almost always a difference in the amount it makes. So depending on how many potatoes you boil will depend on how many eggs you need, will depend on how many onions you'll need, blah, blah, blah. So today, let's get started with boiling those potatoes, then we'll head out to the garden. And I hope that you will stick around with us so that you can see what this turns out like. I'm going to begin by getting a large stock pot that has a lid. I am going to be putting in about 2.5 pounds. This is a 5-pound bag of potatoes, about 2.5 pounds of potatoes in here. I'm just going to take as many uniform ones as I can, put them straight into, oh, I've got quite a few small ones in here. I might want to use small, not big. But I'm going to put those straight into this stock pot. I am not removing anything on them right now. I'm not even going to take the dirt off of them. And don't worry, we will be taking care of that a little later. But I want to get about half of this bag into here, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Now that I've got my potatoes in my stock pot, I've got a very even layer on the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and fill this with some water just above where the potatoes are. So now that I've got my potatoes and water in the pan, I'm going to go ahead and turn this on medium to medium high. I want this to start boiling. I am going to put the lid on to begin the process, but later on I will remove the lid. So we're going to let that go. I don't have a specific time on this. I just check it with a knife, and I'll show you how to do that here in a minute. In the meantime, I am going to begin an ice bath in the kitchen sink. And that is where these potatoes are going to go when they are all cooked. All right, so this is boiling really, really well. I'm going to turn it down just a little. I am going to remove the lid at this time, and I'm just going to let them cook. These potatoes have now been boiling for about 40 minutes. They've been on the stove. I am going to check them right now. All I've got is a little thin paring knife. What I want to do is I want to press them into the potato, and if it will go in gently, but then stop kind of towards the center, then I know I'm getting close to being done. I want these parboiled, meaning they're going to be almost completely cooked, but not quite. These need probably about 5 more minutes, and then I'm going to pull them off and put them into the water bath immediately. We're going to take the skimmer, and we're going to move these immediately to this ice bath. I want those potatoes to sit in there for at least 2 minutes in the ice bath. I did score each of the potatoes with that paring knife as I was testing them. All right, here's where we find out our moment of truth. We should be able to just pull the skins off. That one's not going to be very cooperative, but I will try it with this one. So I just use the side of that same paring knife, and I just kind of pull along the edge of that skin, and it should come right off. And this does take a little bit of time, but I feel like it does not damage the potato quite as much as peeling. Plus I can get a little less of the potato to come off with this. and I don't have to clean them ahead of time. They can just go straight into the pan. So this is what I'm going to do. Hopefully we get some potatoes that work a little better than these did. If I have bad spots, I'll just cut those out right now. And that should do it. That is our potato. I'm going to throw that into our bowl. And we'll just peel these off. That's how it should come off. I should be able to just put my fingers on there and pull it off. So we're basically blanching these and getting the skins to just come right off of it. So that one's doing pretty well. And we've got some weather coming in right now. So I've got cloud cover, then I've got sunshine. I'm hoping that when I go out to the garden, it's not raining or thundering, because we do have a thunderstorm coming. So we'll get this going. We'll get all the potatoes peeled, and then I'm going to put them straight into the refrigerator. I want them to cool off before we use them. So they're going to go into the refrigerator, and then we'll get the rest of the ingredients together for our potato salad. Now that I have my potatoes prepped and they're in the refrigerator cooling, we are going to head out and grab a few herbs from the garden and some garlic scapes. I'll show you what those are here in just a minute. Let's head outside. Well, that weather just passed us over like there was nothing to it. You'll see I got those planted up at the top. Everything's looking good. I did remulch up there. But we're going to head over to the garden here real quick. Let me show you what I'm talking about when I'm talking about garlic scapes. I had no idea when I was planting these garlic that this is what I would get. So let me set up the camera and I'll show you what I've got here. So this right here is a garlic scape, and it only grows on hardneck varieties. And I have a couple here. You can see that this one's very curly. And I've been told that when they are straight like this one right here, I don't want to eat those yet. They need to be in the curly state. But we can take those off and we can eat them. I've been told that they're very similar to a mild onion / garlic flavor. So we're going to take those off and I'll show you what we're going to do with them. I am going to take this garlic scape right here. I'm just going to snip it and then put that into my bowl. And if you can see this, I'm going to take this one as well. Now, I've been told that when the garlic scapes start showing, you have about a month until your garlic is ready to harvest. And like I said, this is only on the hardneck variety. And so that is what we're looking at. We are also going to harvest some of our chives. I need a pretty good amount here, so just going to hold on to them and snip them. And that's what we're looking at so far. I do need to go grab some parsley, so let's go do that. We are back inside. I did also pull some dill off of my plants. So I've got my dill weed here. I've got all my parsley, my chives, and my garlic scapes. I'm going to go ahead and clean and chop all of these and get them prepped and ready for our potato salad. Now that I've got all of those prepped, all of those herbs prepped, and I'm telling you, they smell amazing. We're going to go ahead and prep these. These are those garlic scapes, and I'm just going to cut them up like I would a green onion. They're a little bit curly, so I might chop off the ends for a second to make it just easier for me to chop them. But that is all there is to it. They have a really mild garlic flavor. I can smell the garlic, but it's not super strong. And you can cook with these. You can eat them raw. I just had no idea when I was planting the garlic that I would get a double dose of garlic. So in the form of the scapes and the bulbs. And I'm hoping we are growing some really beautiful bulbs under the ground right now. We'll see here in about a month. Here are the ingredients we will need for today's potato salad. We are going to use those prepared potatoes that we cooked earlier. This is approximately 2.5 pounds or 10 small to medium-sized potatoes. They have been parboiled, that is almost cooked completely through. then their skin's removed and they were chilled for a couple hours. Now I have diced them into large uniform pieces. We are also going to need approximately 1 cup of mayonnaise. Now I do err on the side of less is better, so I will start with less and then add more if I need it. We'll need approximately 2 tablespoons of yellow mustard. We'll also need 1 tablespoon each of sweet pickle relish and dill pickle relish, and I do adjust that depending on taste. We're also going to need approximately 2 to 3 stalks of celery that have been diced, and today I ended up using 3 because they were kind of small. We'll also need some hard-boiled eggs. I'm going to use 4 today, but I have used 3 in the past. Just depends on how much egg you want. We're also going to be using some yellow onion today. This is about 1/4 cup of yellow onion that has been chopped. Normally I use about a 1/2 cup, but today because we have all those garlic scapes and the chives, we are going to omit some of the onion. I also have some parsley in here, some dill, and that is all not normally in my potato salad, but today it just sounds like it should be in there. This is an absolute must for my potato salad. We're going to use approximately 2 tablespoons of Salad Supreme. That is by McCormick, and it is kind of the secret ingredient in here. I do have one other I'm not going to show you until later, so stay tuned. We're also going to need a little salt and pepper and a large mixing bowl and a scraper. And that's everything we're going to need to make this potato salad, so let's get started. To begin this potato salad, I want to start with those 4 hard-boiled eggs. I'm going to use some kind of a tool to mash these or to give them uniform shape. Now, I have in the past used my pastry blender, and I don't think I'm going to use that today because I want to use my plastic bowl, and this could cut it up. So I'm not going to use my pastry blender today, but you would just chop that up. I also have this. It is kind of like a masher. I'm not sure where I got it from. I'm sure it was Pampered Chef or something like that. But I use this for guacamole pretty frequently. But today we're going to use it on our eggs. So I'm just going to put those 4 eggs down in the bottom of my large bowl here. This is a very large bowl. And I'm just going to begin by breaking them up into kind of large pieces to begin with. I am not a huge fan of having big chunks of egg in my potato salad, so I am going to make my potato salad pretty small pieces. These eggs are going to be pretty small, but that is totally your preference. If you would like to slice your eggs, you can put them in there that way as well, and if you want to put them through a food processor, you can certainly do that as well. Just depends on how you like your eggs, or you could omit them, definitely could omit them. But we're just going to break that up. You can see right there, I've got a pretty good consistency. I want them to be about the size, if not a little bit smaller, than my celery. Now we're going to add that mayonnaise to our eggs. And I had some fresh bottles on the counter for the video, but I am using what is left of this one from the fridge. And I'm probably just going to clean this one out. That's pretty close to a cup right there. And we'll just clean that out and get rid of it. And that's always why I keep a backup of that kind of stuff, because you just never know. And if I do need a little more for this dish, I've got my backup already here at the house, and I don't have to go to the store real quick. So there's our mayonnaise. We're going to now add in our mustard. And again, this one came out of the fridge. It's almost gone. I want to put in about 2 tablespoons of this yellow mustard. And it's going to give us some farting sounds because it is almost out. Okay, that'll do it. We're going to put in about 1 tablespoon of each type of pickle relish. This is our dill relish. So I've got 1 tablespoon. That's about 1.5 tablespoons actually. And our sweet pickle. Now we'll add in that celery, the onion, and all of our herbs. and I'm going to stir that real quick. I'm pretty certain we're going to need a little bit more mayonnaise for this. And because of all that dill and the chives in there, this is looking really, really good. But it's very much a green potato salad this time. Usually my potato salad is a little more yellow because of the yellow mustard and the egg. So that's how it just changes every single time I make it. So based on what I've got in my refrigerator, what I've got in my garden, that's what we're looking at. All right, that is stirred up. I do want to add my salad supreme to this, and that is what we're looking at. I want approximately a tablespoon to start with. I'm going to add a little more, but I do want to taste this so I don't over salt or over add to this. So I did pull out the brand new mayonnaise. I am going to add about a quarter of a cup extra to that. Set that to the side because I might need it one last time. And I do want to taste this, but I want to add in my secret ingredient right now. That is going to be some pickle juice. Now I've got just regular pickle juice here. This is dill pickle. I'm going to add just a little to start with. I don't want to add too much. I want to get this to a nice creamy consistency. And then I am going to give this a taste. I have no salt or pepper in it yet, just what is in the Salad Supreme Seasoning mix. That's pretty salty already. I'm thinking no extra salt, but I definitely want to add some pepper and maybe a tiny bit more of our Salad Supreme. I definitely want a little more of the pickle juice too. So I'm going to add a little more of the Salad Supreme. And then we're going to add some of that pickle juice. I want just a tiny bit more, not much. We're going to add in some pepper. I'm going to avoid the salt altogether because I do think this is plenty salty enough already. Probably about a quarter to a half of a teaspoon of black pepper in there. And you'll see my consistency is pretty creamy right now. That should do it. We just need to add our potatoes. I'm going to use this bowl for serving, so I'll just set that aside. We'll mix this up and then we'll eventually pour it right back into that bowl. So that is my potato salad. We're going to set that in the refrigerator covered for a couple hours so that it can chill and all those flavors will meld together beautifully. And that's everything, my friends. We have made potato salad with a bunch of herbs from our garden. Super happy with it. Well, friends, that's going to do it for us today. I made my potato salad with a little bit of a twist. The extra fresh herbs in there were amazing. I had a bowl of it for lunch today and just superb. Chef's kiss. But I don't always have the herbs to put in there. So if you would like to make my traditional classic potato salad, just omit the herb section. And because we don't always have garlic scapes, and that's definitely something I would not be able to find in a grocery store, just omit that. I do add a little extra onion to offset those herbs and spices, but I'm telling you, if you have the ability to grow fresh herbs, it is well worth it to have some parsley, some chives, and that dill was amazing in the salad. So let me know in the comments what secret ingredient you like to add to your potato salad, and if you are a fan of potato salad or you have another dish that you like to serve at picnics and barbecues. So let me know in the comments down below, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those in the comment section. We hope you're having a lovely day wherever you are, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We hope you have a happy and wonderful 4th of July. And if you are not in the United States and you are watching this, we hope you're having a lovely day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.